Okay, so one of the things that you might consider doing in Fusion 360 is creating something with some interesting angles. You have some options from that. I'm going to start with a basic cube and 60 up and see what we can do that might be interesting with this. So one of the things that you can do is modify in chamfer. Say we're going for a more angular design. You can grab any one of your sides and kind of push things in, and you can decide what kinds of angles you want. And you can do that from pretty much any of them. Chamfer, and it will give you, and you can decide if you wanted a regular shape or an irregular shape. If you want it regular, make sure you're keeping track of how far you're pushing in for any of those. And you can continue to fill it to sort of facet your edges, which can be really interesting, and you can play with that. The other thing that you can do, if you're like, oh, I want to cut at sort of a wacky angle that isn't aligned to one of my edges yet, is that you can work with a construction plane. So if you go to a construction plane and you select, first of all, there's a whole bunch of different options here, right? You can make a plane through 2 edges or 3 points. If you need a particular angle, if you have a plane on a path, all kinds of things to play with. We'll work with some of those later. Right now, I'm just going to play with a plane at an angle. So zoom back out. So I want to put it, I'm going to put it in an angle to this. And then you can either type in your degrees or you can just kind of tilt it that way. And there's that angle. And then let's say I wanted to move a body. I'm going to take this body and I'm going to rotate it a little bit so that I can move my plane that way. And I'm going to put this here. So I want to be able to cut through that at whatever angle I want, right? So I can do that, and then I can go over to modify split body. This is how you can cut a piece apart. You still have the 2 pieces when you're done, so you're not necessarily cutting something that's going to leave a big gap. You're just going to split it in 2. So the body to split is the one you want to cut in half, and then your splitting tool is going to be that plane. And you should say okay. And then when you're ready to go, if you hit move and you want to move one of these guys, you can then see what you've got for a new angle. So that would be how to use your construction planes to facet at a particularly interesting angle that doesn't align right off with one of your edges.